Okay.
Oh my.
All right, let's try it again, everybody.
This is the Boom Podcast.
It is.
The
Are we
podcast
recording?
that shows you how to
Yes.
build an amazing
Are you sure?
business.
Yes.
So you can build an amazing life.
It's tricking off the wall.
Oh my.
Jordy,
The
naturally
Boom
moving.
Podcast
I'm naturally moving.
Nice.
starts now.
That's funny. Yep.
Season 2 moving on. Season 2 is happening. Season 2 continues.
Where's he
Episode
going?
6. Todd's.
I think he's.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, you can't stand up against a wall and touch your toes, right?
Well, because your butt needs room.
Yeah, you can see on. If you're on YouTube, you can watch Todd try. Yeah, because your butt goes backwards.
Your butt needs
goes
some
backwards.
space.
It does.
I
We
feel like
got
they're-
a big derriere.
I feel like.
No, it's not. It's everybody.
Yeah, it's
But
it's
you know,
everybody.
like
It's all about
if
a
you see
center
like
balance thing.
acrobats and
Can they do
like they're so when they're touching their feet, they can like they're so compact. Is that
I'm gonna
still
try it.
I don't know. Those are acrobats. Those might be contortionists.
okay? Well, still.
Contortionists. We're
How
gonna go
about
to
this?
Terry against
Now,
the
is
wall.
it-
Terry is on the wall.
Wait.
He is bending
he's turning.
forward.
He's
He
going.
is almost.
He's gonna do it. So
I
is
tried
it
the
that you
last
have to be
second
on the
burst.
wall while you do it, or could you do it and back up to it? Well, yeah, because then you could do that.
You are not allowed
Can
to
we
do
fix
it and then
that
back
in
into
post?
a wall.
Can we fix that
I like that
comment?
you're-
Like that was never
I
said.
like that you're just trying to like cheat physics.
No,
You're like,
it's
I
fine.
will disprove.
I just wanted to see if there was
Gravity.
a little loophole.
If I
It doesn't
had-
look like there is.
If I had a lot longer feet, I would have
Maybe
been
that's
fine.
the
Did
key.
you
You
feel?
need
You
longer
notice that
feet.
too?
I will surgically
A
get
little
implants.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
But they can't just be long. They need to like stick. I need
Curve up
a
a little
foot.
bit.
I need a toe that just
Like the clown
curls
shoes?
up about a
They're
foot
like
and a
super
half.
long and they go
Yeah,
up
like a
little.
jester shoe with a bell on the end.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What if you took your 4 extra toes and just attached them in a row to your big toe?
Okay.
Would that be strong enough on both feet to keep yourself from tipping over?
Volunteer to
think it
dress
could
up
be.
as Ronald McDonald.
Yeah,
Keep the shoes.
yeah. If you had to cut off a toe, are you going pinky toe?
That's a great question.
Or are you going to go like somewhere in the middle?
No, I think you got to go pinky toe.
Because you don't go
Choice
big.
is
Big's
clear.
important.
Yeah, but
You gotta
pinky
have
toes
that.
on the end, though.
Yeah, but here's what I'm
Yeah.
How
trying
about
to do.
one end from the
I'm
end?
trying to cut off a little piece of my.
Agreed.
I'm trying to round my foot off too, so that it
Yeah.
looks. So you have to like look at it a second time, and be like, oh wait, he only has 4 toes.
Yeah.
So you don't want to just go toe because then you have the nub.
I'm thinking one end from the pinky.
Yeah,
One
I
end
think
and
if you're
then
Just
the-
that way you still have the...
Yeah.
if you're doing it for aesthetics, you go pinky. If you're doing it for
Aesthetic.
actual functionality, you need
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
in because I have heard that your pinky toe helps with your balance.
I've
And I
heard
broke
that.
my
That
pinky
might
toe
be.
once, and it was awful. I
That's
mean, you
true.
use it more than like that
Interesting,
side to like
interesting.
tip, push off.
But
I'm-
your
I'm-
toe ring finger you rarely use.
I'm pressing
Correct.
on my
I mean,
toes
what's that
right
for?
now.
Or the
Yeah.
one right in the
for toe
middle.
rings.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
right
mean,
now,
yeah,
I'm
really.
pressing on my toes, and I feel like my middle toe is probably the one to go.
Yeah, I'd say my middle toe finger.
The big
my
long one?
or my
I'm pushing
middle
down, and I feel like that's got the least like
impact
but
on
it's-
your
feel.
It's
Yeah.
long, which means it has to do something for balance.
Well, it depends how creepy
That
your
one
feet
I'm sure
next
they
are.
all do something for balance.
It-
Anybody without a toe, please hit us up on
You know the
yes.
best-
Will you just let
Yeah,
us
yeah,
know?
that's true.
Instagram.
Yeah, if you're currently missing a toe.
There's a portion of our
mean-
listeners that are. You know,
Sure.
we've got a broad listenership, and we're not trying to discriminate based
Yeah.
on account of toes.
And we did
Check false.
So
we did talk to our attorneys, and they have asked that you do not cut off your toes.
yes,
Please,
please.
don't. It's not worth it.
Legal department made it clear. They've made it clear. We've really milked this joke in season 2, haven't we? The children
Yes.
legal department.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
I'm so happy I
completely
love
okay with it.
children so much that it just makes me happy.
Oh,
every
do you
time I
guys
hear
remember
it.
season 1 how Megan hates children?
Oh, yeah.
I almost forgot.
Yeah.
I don't.
You really
hate
have
children.
rounded yourself out, just like
I
your
love
toes.
children.
You have
Has
really-
Megan ever said anything on the podcast about how she hates kids, Christian? Has that ever happened?
Ever say this? Don't you do this? Nope. 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 Nope.
There it is.
There it is. Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought I remembered. It's right here.
But Todd also said he hated America.
Whoa!
He did. And Terry said he loves. Nope.
This show has ruined
gonna
my
get you,
political
Wagner.
aspirations.
There's a big red light in the studio that goes on, and I see it more easily than you guys. That's why I don't say anything stupid like you do.
Do we have any content for today?
Oh yeah, you guys.
I think we're
wanna
gonna
talk
wrap
about
it up. You're around the
You're
bend.
good?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're talking buyer systems pre-contract. Oh, by the way, remember when I used to say hi? I'm Terry, and there's Todd, and there's Christian,
yeah.
there's Megan, and
Yeah,
Jordy's
yeah.
here too. Okay. Well, I just did it there. And I used to say info@boomrealestatepodcast.com and Facebook
Yeah.
and Instagram and YouTube. and Real Estate on Purpose.
I remember that.
I do too. Those were the days. But it's season 2 now, so we move onward.
Don't
and
forget
upward.
CRMRS.
CRMRS.xyz. Again, that site may or may not be live yet when you're
We're
because this
working
is
on it.
breaking news is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah, but we're going to get into that game for
We're
sure.
gonna fix it.
Yep, we're gonna fix it. Okay, so let's talk. This is buyer systems. So we've got what we have here is 2 episodes in a row. Episode 6 and 7, they're going to be talking buyer systems. The first is the systems that you have pre-contract, and the second is going to be after the contract, right? So we're going to break down both of those systems in this and the next episode. So very exciting, very exciting. Again, this is all systems in season 2. These are big, robust things that you can put into your business to make your life easier, but also to grow and scale your business. Hallelujah.
All of those things.
It's good. Okay, so Megan, intro us out. Talk about what we're talking about.
Yes.
I
I'm
don't know
going
why
to
that
do
came out that
exactly
way.
that. All right. So buyers, obviously a huge part of our business. And if you have great buyer systems, your business runs very smoothly. We all know that during the transaction, it can get a little hairy. We've got a lot going on. And if you have systems in place to take care of all of these things, throughout it, you are going to be rocking. You're going to be much more peaceful about it. You're going to be able to handle more transactions. You're not going to have buyers falling through the cracks that you're supposed to be taking care of, or steps along the way that you forget about, or like that inspection date, or did I get this piece of paperwork done? So these systems, they're going to get all of that in place for you, and you're going to feel amazing, and your buyers are going to love you, and your service is going to be great, and you're not even going to break a sweat while you're doing it.
I love it.
Do you know what else is great about this?
Tell me.
All of these systems we're going to talk about today, almost all of this could be done by a showing agent or an EA when you get to that point.
Oh, wow.
So you're going to need to be able to do all of these things, and there's some of these things you're always going to want to continue to do, but for the most part, once you set these up, you'll be able to delegate them on.
Nice.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
So the key appointment for a buyer is that buyer consultation. What we want to do in this episode is walk you through before the consultation, after the consultation, and then go ahead and do that pre-contract section too. So kind of 3 parts to this episode, and we're going to dive in. Todd, let's start with the pre-consultation.
Yep,
Let's
we're just
talk
going
about
to
it.
walk you through. This whole season's been walking through point 0 to point 78. That's how many points there are.
It's a 78-point
And so-
system.
And so we are just going to continue to walk down
made
that
that
track.
clear.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
So we are pre-consultation. What's that mean? That means that you just got a lead, all right? Or you just got a referral. You basically have a buyer coming down the way, all right?
did
so
it.
what's the first thing you're going to do? First thing you're going to do is you're going to track exactly where that lead came from, because
Yes.
we need to know what our ROI is, right?
Yes.
So you need to know, did it come from my online generator? Did it come from a referral? What did it do? So we're going to track that. And where are you going to write that down? In your CRM, which we did a few episodes ago. So make sure you pay attention to that one. Then next step, you're going to thank your referring party.
Good call.
You need to send them a thank you note, a call, text, coffee, whatever you want to do.
That's legal.
That is legal. Yep.
Yes.
You can't ask for business and promise anything in return. But if somebody sends you a referral, there's nothing that says you can't send them a thank you.
Yes,
All right?
and things you pay attention to grow. So you let people know you appreciate referrals, you're going to get more referrals. So it's an important part.
Yeah, and I've had times in the past too where I'll send somebody a thank you, a handwritten thank you note. As soon as I get the lead, I immediately get out a card, I write a thank you note to them, I send it to them, and then all of a sudden things don't work out, and they call me and they're like, "Hey, I heard that didn't work out. Like the buyer changed their mind. I feel really bad. I'm gonna get you another one." I'm like,
Yeah,
"All right, let's
that's
do
nice.
that."
That's nice.
All right. So we have tracked the lead. We've thanked the referring party if it came from a referring party. And now you got to make first contact. All right. So you're going to call that buyer and you're going to schedule an appointment. All right. So when you do that, make sure that you are in control. We always talk about being proactive. So make sure that you're in control of when that appointment is. Don't underestimate how much a buyer will be willing to meet you whenever you want, because they're excited about the buying process. So control your schedule and you will enjoy life more. Okay.
For sure.
So you're going to set up that time to meet with them. And then as soon as you're done setting up that time, and we typically on our team, and we teach these things, we don't spend a lot of time on that first phone call.
Right.
This isn't like, tell me about what you're shopping for.
Right.
Tell me about what. We're all we're doing is we're just saying, hey, this is who I am. Wanted to follow up with you. I got a referral, and I wanted to just see if we can find a time to meet in person.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So you want to establish enough connection that they're not going to be afraid to meet with you, but not too much that you're wasting a bunch of time there, because we want that face-to-face meeting.
For sure.
So we schedule the time. We schedule our contact with them. We make sure that we have all of their contact information, especially an email, because the next step is you shoot them an email.
Love it.
This is real simple. We are going to confirm the appointment.
Yep.
And then what we use on our team is we use a couple surveys. All right. The two surveys that we use are Getting to Know You and the Right Home survey. The Getting to Know You is just a bunch of information about who they are, hobbies, interests, birth dates, all that fun stuff. The Right Home survey is more information about what they're looking for.
Yep.
Now, again, this is stuff we could have done on that phone call, but we didn't want to. We want them to be able to think through it, and then we want to be able to analyze those things before we meet with them.
Nice.
All right. And then the last thing you can do is you can also send them a buyer's guide. If you should have one. If not, hit us up and we'll be happy to share ours with you. But hit them up with a buyer's guide so that they know that they could read through that, and then that way you're not having to spend the whole meeting with them going through every page of that, and you can kind of just do more of a general review and survey with them. So now you know more before you even meet with them. You know more about them. You know what they're looking for. You've given them some brief ideas about the home buying process, and it makes that next meeting so easy. And then what I love to do is in that email, or even right after you send them an email, you shoot them a video text and just say, hey, just shot you an email with some information.
That's good.
Wanted to send you a quick video of myself so you know who you're
So
looking
good.
for when we meet at
Yep.
Starbucks.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 5.
And
That's-
oh, go ahead.
No,
You
please,
go
Megan.
ahead.
No,
Who are
please.
you?
Please. I want to know what you were going to say. You're probably going to say what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Probably, I mean, great minds.
And
No,
ours as well.
yes, and then ours. No, I was saying, and then like with everything you just said, you've called them,
Yeah.
you've emailed them, and now you've sent them a video, all in that one, short time frame. So they feel like they know you, that you're giving them great service already. They've seen your face, which connects you. It's just you're kind of hitting them at all angles.
Right. And you know how you can remind yourself to do it? Oh, because you've got a workflow or a follow-up
Yeah.
plan,
Oh.
an activity plan in your CRM. You put them in the CRM, and it immediately tells you, oh, make sure
Do
you
these
send a
things.
thank you note.
Yes.
Oh, make sure to shoot them an email. Boom, boom, boom.
good.
It's all a systematized business, and you
So great, guys.
grow.
And you grow. That is
So
really
good.
good.
Fly. And then you fly.
And then you fly and you
oh,
grow.
look,
I'm
yes.
flying.
Wow.
Flying.
Thank you.
Look at your wingspan.
YouTube.
It's impressive.
You guys that aren't on YouTube, you,
guys
miss
are
so
missing
much.
it. Yeah, you
know.
really should just watch the videos of these. It's a lot better.
Super interesting.
Quit your jobs.
You should quit your jobs and just watch all these on video. We quit ours and made these videos. So okay, that's good. So that's what you do for the first part of the pre-consultation part. Mego,
Yes.
now we've got to get ready for that consultation.
Let's do it. Let's
How do we do
prep.
it? Let's prep it up.
We're going to prep time.
Prep it up,
Okay, so we're
Chris.
prepping for our buyer's consultation now. Now, all of these things that Todd just talked about, you are going to get in hand. So you're either going to have like an iPad or a computer that you can pull these up, or you're going to have printouts. So it just roll the way that you want to roll. Honestly, right now, I'm in this world where I have both. I always try to pre-send. So I'm talking about the survey. So the Getting to Know You survey, the Right Home survey, and then a buyer's guide. And so I have those. If they did not fill them out beforehand, then I go ahead and bring them. And I always have a paper one and my buyer's guide with me. And then I always have my computer. I always do it on my computer if I can. But there's just some people that are still going to want to do things on paper. So
Yeah.
I keep it just in case. I use it very rarely. So have you got these things? The Getting to Know You, the Right Home survey, a buyer's guide that's going to walk them through the process of buying a home, because either they haven't never done it before, or it's probably been a while and they're going to need to remember and have a refresher course.
Yeah.
And then your information, some kind of a resume. We're not super heavy into this, but we do also want people to know that we are legit and we know what we're doing. And usually your brokerage or your team or whoever has something, a template you can use for that. So that's tucked into our buyer guide.
And that's, again, one of those things that we've got that buyer's guide, which we're happy to share with you.
Yes.
But we basically, for our team, we created this buyer's guide that was more generalized to the team.
Yep.
But we wanted each of our agents to make sure that they were able to tout themselves and what makes them special. So we created individual sheets that was more customized to them and their
Yep.
lives. And so that's what we would suggest you do, which could
Yep.
be in the form of a resume, or it could be more fancy and look more of like a,
Like a fun marketing piece.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. My 2 cents on this thing too, on the resume deal, is I never talk about my resume. It's
Yeah.
just in there. So if
Yeah,
someone's like flipping
it's good.
through, they see I've got a resume and like I'm legit. The old school real estate thing was that people would come with the brag book.
Yes.
And they would sit
Oh,
down and
yeah.
say, look at, here's
That's a
all
good
the
way to
homes I've
talk.
sold. These literally like certificates they've won are in their
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
No.
just gross. And I
It's not
think
our
it's
vibe.
not really the way business is done anymore. Like just being
Mm-hmm.
braggy. It turns people off now. So
Yeah.
have it in there to legitimize yourself,
it.
but I don't ever
I
talk
love that
about
part
it.
of our
Agree.
business and how we've trained our agents because we literally, unless you know that you're in a competitive situation with another agent, we rarely ever talk about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all about the client.
Yep.
And I love that we do that, and that's our focus.
It is. And, people now search for you. They Google you. They look for you
Yeah.
online. They check out your profiles. And before you sit down with them, they're going to know who you are.
Yeah.
It'll speak for yourself. And you're building a better relationship when it's not the braggy, like,
Right.
I'm going to win you. It's, let's be buddies.
I had a listing meeting the other day where the lady said, I want to know, like, I want you to tell me, like, your history in the area, like what you've done in real estate. Like I now whenever that happens, it's rare, but I print up this thing or I have it ready to go. And I say, okay, this is the part that I don't like to talk about at all. Like it feels super braggy and usually they kind of laugh and like it puts it at ease and it shows them too. Like I want to give you the information you want, but it's not about like, oh, I'm so great,
Right,
so
right.
even that, I think you can kind of make a casual
Yes.
situation, but
Yeah.
anyway, good times.
So that's good. So you've got something in there in your packet as well. And then the couple other things that I usually like to have and we use are just a partners list. So we've got some vendor partners that we use and we refer in that it's a book of great people that we trust with our clients. Because even
Yes.
at that first appointment, I'll have people ask like, do you have a lender? I don't have a lender, so I'll give them a couple options there. Do you have a painter? All of these people, a moving company, and by having this little book of partners, they feel all the way taken care
Yes.
of. It's this all-encompassing hug that we give them. We're going to take care of you. So I always have that just to show all of those
good.
options, and then area information. So I want to wow them at this appointment, and so we need to have information on all the areas they're going to look. And then usually, this isn't a big part of the system, but I always just have a little note to bring them some form of something nice. Like maybe they're coming in from out of state, so I get them a little Indiana mug or something, something like welcome to the area to have them remember us. So
That's nice.
So there's that. And then after you come, you've got all your goodies. You just are rocking. You look great. You sit
do
down.
look great. Look at you.
Yeah, just look how good you look. And then you're going to conduct the buyer's consultation.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. By the
Love
way,
it.
Quick side note that I forgot to mention: when we send our surveys, we use SurveyMonkey or Woofu. Those are the two that we use for surveys. So
Yep.
anybody that's going to start using systems like that, definitely look into those because there's free versions.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Let's take a pause time out right here. It's
Uh-oh.
halftime of
What?
the episode. And let's go to producer Christian's tech
Time
tip
for
of the day. We come on here. There's that sounder. All right, I love it.
That's awesome.
Sounds nice.
Okay, tech tip.
What is that you have?
you bring in?
Is that a rat?
It's a
there
Don
some-
King.
What?
It
Doll.
does look like
Does
Just
look
the
like
hair.
Don King. It's just a
Just
Don
the
King
hair.
wig. Don King wig.
It's the doll wig.
Lots of functions.
Okay, I want to talk about wind.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
You realtors?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the
Yes.
worst. That was the worst.
You
pronunciation.
realtors.
No, it was really
Realtors.
funny.
Realtors.
It was funny.
Realtors.
I liked
You
it.
go out with your mic and you got sound all taken care of, and then you're outside, and guess what happens?
So
The wind blows
I'm
2
Your wig
miles
blows
an hour.
off.
I'm gonna give play-by-play real quick to the people listening at home. Christian is holding in his right hand a microphone that looks kind of like a Sharpie. So it's
Play by play.
This is kind of fun.
It's a
just to
microphone.
hear.
It's a long
fun to hear
microphone.
Todd
I'm trying to keep it
talk about
PG.
what
Todd,
it
just do
is.
play by
I'm trying to
play.
keep it
just-
PG, but it's a long microphone.
mic.
And so, Christian, you're saying there's a problem when you go outside?
I'm saying when you go outside, the wind blows, and any wind, it doesn't matter how much
Yeah.
it is, makes a
Yes.
kind of a
Heavy
sound.
breath.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean-
Especially if you're outside. So these little things, you can buy them. B&H Photo has them.
And
Amazon
now
has
he's
them.
holding up something that looks like a hedgehog.
That's right. It goes on the end of
Yeah.
a mic like this.
What's
Maybe
the
if-
actual name of it? Like a sound.
This one's
wind,
called a.
wind.
And this is terrible. This is called a
What is
dead,
it?
dead cat.
Dead cat.
Yeah.
Dead
Dead
cat.
Dead cat?
cat.
Really?
Because it looks like
Okay.
a dead cat.
Yeah,
That's
that's
funny.
actually what it's
Holding
called.
up
I hate to
what
say
looks
that, but
like a dead
um,
cat.
but you
So-
can also get ones for lapel mics. This one fits on a tiny little lapel. Do you guys want to pass it around? Show and tell.
So he has an itty bitty dead
Do you want to
cat.
pass it around?
He's
Just meet,
handed-
meet
I do.
over there by Terry.
In my hands, Christian
Just
has handed me
amazing.
what
Look at
looks
that, guys.
Oh, I thought it was a
just
I
like
just-
dead
Throw
cat
it.
coming at me.
Megan, do you want to?
Oh yes, yes.
it's about
Anyway,
the
you can
size
use-
of a marble.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. Perfect.
Yeah, guys.
This is nice.
Yeah, and you can
I
use
love-
foam. You can use fur. It doesn't matter what it is.
Toilet paper?
No.
Well, what is? Isn't there something that's called a sock or something?
Yeah,
for
windsock.
A
Yeah,
windsock.
It's another name.
Dead
Well, actually,
cat.
no, that's not true. A windsock is the thing that planes use.
It's just It goes like this, and
Oh,
and the
yeah,
wind.
that's the temperature.
You can
I
use a
like that.
windsock
Yeah.
also.
I like
He's
that.
feeling that.
There it was. Let's close up
Very
shop.
good.
Producer Christian's tech tip
sounder.
of the EPF.
That's
Let's do it.
Tech tip.
Nice. Okay, so Todd, let's get back to you. Let's go some other tips. Some other tips.
I'm gonna
about
leave the
buyer
dead cat
consultation.
on my hand.
Do it.
It's fun to play with. isn't it?
Startles me every time.
I hate when I get a gust of wind through my fingers.
I know,
So this
yeah.
dead cat's gonna really help
and your
out.
fingers are chilled to
Yes.
the bone.
It looks like, for those listeners at home,
Oh.
what's happening now, it looks like Don King has sat on my hand. And not just Don King, but just his hair.
Just his hair
Just
has
his wig.
landed on your fingers. All right, Todd,
All right.
why don't you gesticulate through this next point?
Can I
Oh,
give you some
my.
quick tips?
I'd love some quick tips.
All right, I'm going to give you some quick tips. Tip number 1. If you don't happen to meet with these people live, which does happen, all right, let's say you've got that buyer that you just can't work it out and
Yeah.
they want to go see homes or something like that, and you
Yeah.
just haven't had time to meet with them live, just make sure to have really, really strong follow-ups, all right? And that's why a CRM isn't so imperative, because sometimes you will follow up with somebody and then they don't call you back, or you email somebody and your follow-up is their response. Like, that's when you know to follow up with them, is when they respond
Yeah.
to you. But what happens if they don't respond?
Yeah.
And you don't have them in a CRM, or you don't have a workflow for them? You're going to forget about that person, and that's money that you're leaving on the table. So you got to have those good, strong follow-ups. And one of the imperative things, if you're going to follow up and you haven't met in person, they need to see your face. So that's why you got to have those video, text, and emails.
Yep.
All right, number 2, put your personal touch in everything. We
Touch
like to
it.
use humor here. We like to use windsock cats or dead cats or whatever these things
Yeah,
are.
dead cat.
All right, put your personal touch in absolutely everything you do, because you got to get them to know, like, and trust you. This is all about them liking you. All right, so you got to have that personal touch. Number 3, follow up and do what you say you are going to quickly.
Yeah.
All right, so follow up is one thing, but the second thing is to be a man or woman of your word. So
Yep.
if you say you're going to do something for them, make sure you do it. We always preach, which everybody's heard, under promise, over deliver. So
Yep.
what I know, if I'm going to do something within 24 hours, I tell them it's going to be 48 hours, just in case, but then it makes me look better when it's in 24.
Yeah.
So some quick tips for you.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. You did the consultation. It went well.
It was such a good appointment. Now, what do I do?
What's my system now, Meg?
Post consult?
Let's go.
Let's do this. All right. So you're going to do a few things. I'm just going to kind of bullet point them out, guys. This is what you do get back from the consultation. First, you're going to make sure you create a client folder. Now, you might have done this before you even left, but just make sure you create a client folder. You've got a place where you're putting all of this
And that
information.
can be paperless, yes.
Yes. Like even, well, we do like in our email inbox, we have a folder for those buyers. So you can just pull things in there that you might need later. We also have, we'll talk about in a minute, like a transaction system that you can have a folder in there as
You
well.
can have
So-
it in the cloud so that your
can.
assistant can look at it too.
Yep. Dropbox
Nice.
it, whatever type of thing you want to do, but make sure you're putting all this information in here. And things you'd put in there will be there, getting to know you, the right home, their pre-approval letter, all of that stuff in one organized place.
Love it.
Second thing you're going to do is prep your follow-up and thank you, inside jokes, customize it
Yeah.
to however that meeting went. And this can be a handwritten note, it can be an email, but you definitely need to do a follow-up to say, hey, great meeting with you. Here's
good.
what I got out of that meeting. This is what you got. Let's
Yep.
be on the same page. Next thing, social media connection. Make sure after you've met with them and you know you're working together that you're on social media, you're friending them, you're you're following them, all of that stuff that you're connected on there.
Love it.
Enter them into the CRM.
Get him in there.
Important. You've probably already done that.
Yeah, they
but just
should
in
be in
case.
there
You can
already. yeah.
update that bad boy.
That's the word. Update them in the CRM.
CRMRS.xyz.
CRM, the QCPRT.
Coming soon.
Boom. Okay. Then start working on the pre-approval letter to add to the file. If they didn't have that already, that's going to be their next step in their homework. So once you get that put in the file. And a big one, set up the search.
Get it going.
You got to set that search up. If you didn't do it while you were together, set up the search. This is a big one. You have to do what you said you were going to do. Go back and do that right away and make sure it's running while you are out doing other
Don't
stuff.
get into the habit. Excuse me. Don't get into the habit of trying to just do searches by like I've got these buyers, so I will just jump on every day and look through.
Yeah.
Like use those systems.
Yeah.
All right. Create
Yep.
systems, people.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You set that home search up, it will be working for you, sending them homes. And then once a week in our system is we go in and touch base with all these buyers and see how they're doing. That's when you check in your system. So, and the last thing, follow up in 2 days right after this consultation to see where they are, just solidify that relationship, and then once a week after that. So that should be in your schedule. Now, we talk about this in our REOP that we've talked about on the podcast. We dive more into that. But there are systems that say how often you should be communicating with them, but stay in touch.
Good stuff. I've got a little extra tip too here. You can go kind of next level and go concierge mode on stuff like this. Like if you have buyers and you're having trouble in the regular search finding things for them, some things you could do to be concierge mode is to have these systems in place that remind you at a certain point that after you've been working with them to look into new builds or start searching for sale by owner. Think about networking, like in your networking groups. Can you say, hey, I'm looking for this kind of buyer or for this kind of home for this certain build or buyer? You could put it on social media as well. Even sending out mailers to specific neighborhoods.
So sorry.
No, you're fine. Todd is making a puppet. That came out so good. That came out so good.
Oh, you guys. Todd has taken a picture of himself.
Oh, it's in there too. Oh.
Can you see it?
For those of you listening at home, Todd has taken a picture of himself on his phone and put the Don
King wig on it.
There it is.
This is next level audio podcasting. But
right.
Really?
But
and now Megan is taking a picture.
Well, he keeps moving it.
Oh wait, I gotta go this way.
Oh, it's so scary.
Sorry, we should be talking.
I know. There's like a random silence.
We're still live.
Producer Christian, you'll fix that in post.
I'll fix it in post.
You'll fix it in post. And we're back. So those are concierge mode moves that you can do, but you want to have systems so that those reminders trigger to you automatically once you've been working with these buyers for a certain amount of time, so that you're doing everything you can to concierge them into their new home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so very last thing, just to wrap it all up, is right before your pre-contract. What are you going to do before you get them under contract on a home? Is you're going to do your showings. So that is your next step. You have to search, pick out the homes. You're setting expectations with them, and that's just part we've already talked about that. I literally have a pre-showing email template that says, "Hey, looking forward to your showings. Here's what to expect." You know, when we schedule, it's going to be a couple days out because homes sell quickly right now on the market. These are ones you're going to want to see, but we're going to stay away from the ones that have giant power lines and are on a busy street and stuff like that. And then how long you stay at each home. So the timing that you'll do. So you're setting these expectations, saying you're excited. So you can do it. Email templates are like literally your best friend.
The best thing
Can we
ever.
just say?
Yeah. Agreed.
Setting up your showing strategically, that's part of your system. We have a showing service that we use, and you map it out. You make sure you're going to the right ones.
Yep.
Our systems, if there's a go-in show, we try to do those last so you can make up for time.
Yep.
Just those fun little systems. Another showing system.
Can I just publicly say, that I just wanted to be noted that on air, Megan publicly said that her best friend is her email system setups, not me.
That's
my
accurate.
BFF. Listen, you know
Can
what?
I?
There's a bar that's been set,
Let's see how this
and
plays
you're
out.
just gonna have to step up
See how
to
this
it.
plays out. Wait for it.
Okay, love you. I love you, Todd. See, we're best friends. Okay, next. So
Kind of
we're
defused it, didn't
the
she?
other.
Yeah, but I feel like he's not
Yeah.
done
No,
yet.
he's so done. Look, he's smiling.
No,
Look
he
how
had a
happy
look
he
and then
is.
Let it slide.
Look, he's happily married.
Rounding off those corners.
Just cut one toe off and everything kind of rounds towards the middle.
I need to get a one back on that awkward moment for
I
us.
know.
This is important.
We're almost
to
one
me.
episode. We're almost through it.
No. So, okay, so a couple other showing systems. Use the apps to get into the homes and the key cards and things you can use. Make sure that you give a showing recap afterwards. So that's a big key. That's a system you might not have. When you get back, make sure you say, hey, here are the homes we went to, the crazy cat house and the, hill house. And this is what I feel like you liked. And anything you need to recap, here's the information I got for you that you needed.
And one of the best things to do with that is go right back into the first thing you said, which is then you finish it with expectations or like, all right, here's how everything went today. Here's our next steps.
Yep,
So that they always know what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. And that pretty much is what you need to do for your contract stuff. And pretty soon, guys, you're going to be writing offers. Watch out.
It's good.
Watch out.
It is good. There it is. Info at boomrealestatepodcast.com. If you have questions about those, want to see some templates, want to see our buyer guide, things like that, just shoot us a quick email at that boomrealestatepodcast.com address, and we'd be happy to get it to you. Find us on YouTube and Instagram, because otherwise you won't see Todd's phone
You need to
puppet
see this,
Don
guys.
King, and you really need to.
Guys, you need to see
You
this.
really need to see it.
It
you really
is.
need to see it because it'll just creep up on you before you even realize what's happening.
You just won't even.
And then all of a sudden, it'll be. It's so good. You better watch on YouTube because it won't make sense on iTunes or
so
Stitcher.
worth it.
We'll see you next time on the Boom Podcast. You almost knocked my mic into my teeth.